We have speed.
Okay. But Harry, let's review some of your acting credits. Little Man Tate. When you went into that, were you worried whether you'd bond with the little kid in that film?
No, man, I love children. I'll bond with any kid. Even if they hate me, I'll make them sit on my lap or something, and squeeze them. I love children, so, and fortunately for me, he's a terrific young man, so we had no problems getting along.
Now, Memphis Belle, a movie I enjoyed immensely. Was that a particularly difficult film for you to do because of the constricted sets?
It was hard to do because, number one, it was my first movie, and number two, I was surrounded with guys who had a lot more experience than I did and who are really terrific actors. So, well, I shouldn't say it was hard. It was just challenging, But it was a great experience for me. But yeah, sitting in that tail of that plane for all that time, that got pretty constricting.
Now, in this film, you play a kind of obsessed character. You've done that before, of course, in the episode of Cheers where you had the crush on Miss Rebecca Howe.
That's right.
Now, how did the casting for that come about?
For Copycat?
No, for Cheers, yeah.
My brother-in-law, Tim, loves Cheers. I loved it, too. He was really into it, and he said, boy, it'd be cool if you got on that show. So I kind of did it for him. I called up and said, can I be on the show? And they said, sure. It was like, wow, okay. So I'm happy I did that. That's and so many people have seen it. It's amazing to me. I really, I'm very happy about that.
Now this film, a pretty big departure for you. Was it something that some people advised you against doing something where you're an unlikable character like that?
That never came up until after I did it. People started saying, "Do you think it'll affect you?" And I'm like, "Well, I hope not. I hope people realize that I'm just acting." But it was great. It was great playing a bad guy. I don't know how it will affect me. I mean, it hasn't come out yet, so that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Now, how often, when you get offered acting roles, where singing is a part of it?
Used to happen all the time. Now it doesn't happen too much anymore. They want me to just play a part, which is really flattering. It's not like they're hiring me to be a musician. They're hiring me as an actor, which really makes me feel good.
Now the makeup sessions for this movie, how many different looks did they experiment with?
Once they shaved my hair off, they said that's about the only look we can have because that's all we had a chance to do. And then they just wanted me to look pretty ugly, and it didn't take long. 10, 15 minutes tops, I'm on my way.
Well, what kind of reaction did you get from the crew, a casting crew, when you walked out for the first time?
It was exciting. It was really exciting. Oh wow, Darryl Lee. You look like we thought he would look. That was pretty neat. Sometimes you're sitting around and you don't realize you have this makeup on, and I didn't look very good. They made me look sickly and kind of pale, and people would kind of be looking at me. Oh, I'll tell you a funny story. One time, we had to do a reshoot, and I had a big patch of hair on the back of my head missing, and all this makeup on, and they were doing an outside shot. I wasn't in the shot, but I had to go talk to John Emile, the director, about something. Anyway, they were shooting in front of a club in Los Angeles, and I went into the club and sat in during whatever they were doing outside, and the other musicians were looking at me like, man, he's sick. He's looks terrible, and I didn't realize it, And then I'm talking to them afterwards, and I realized that I had all this stuff on, and my teeth were rotten looking, and it didn't make a good impression. Boy, he looks better on TV.
I've always been fascinated with celebrities about the unusual places where they get recognized.
Yeah.
Where have been some of the more unusual places that people have come up to you and say, "Hey, aren't you Harry Connick Jr.?"
I'm trying to think of some locations. Just give me an example.
Oh, like bathrooms?
Oh yeah, all the time. Oh, it's like, thank you very much. I shake your hand right now, but that kind of stuff. Oh, everywhere, bathrooms and all over.
And one final question. I've always been incredibly impressed with Sigourney Weaver. Back when I was in college and I saw Alien on the first day it opened. Your first impressions of her when you met her?
Intimidated, a little scared. and in great awe. She's an amazing talent, and as I got to know her, I found her to be the most, if you're wondering what she's like, she is the coolest, nicest, most intelligent woman. I love her, and I'm honored to be on the screen with her.
Great. All right.
Thanks.
A real pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks.